What's up, folks? We are back with some midday matchup 1v1s, clown fiestas. It's been a while, but we are here on March 1st, the start of Women's History Month. And it's going to be a PvT between two Zerg players. So expect some really goofy builds and plays from these guys. Let's give them an introduction. It's our blue Protoss yellow Jello. And the red Terran Timbo Slice. So right off the bat, no real shenanigans here. Supply depot, you can't really deviate from that too much as a Terran player. Timbo going for the high ground, whereas Yellow Jello will be throwing down his stuff on the low ground, which implies a relatively quick expansion. We'll see when he decides to throw that down. He does have 400 minerals now, but I'm not going to be throwing that down already. A minute and a half in, these guys floating quite a lot of money. We do see Timbo wants to throw his command center down, which ends up being earlier than Yellow Jello. And kind of a strange choice here from Timbo. If the plan was to go for a fast expand, why not put the buildings on the low ground? I don't know. And here's Yellow Jello with his expansion now as well. Now, a little curious build order here for the Protoss player. He went for 2 gateways before Cybercore. So just gonna have a Zealot right now, which is not gonna be very good against this guy over here, the Reaper. We'll see how good Timbo's micro is, but I do think this guy's gonna get quite a few kills. Prediction right now, let's say 6 probe kills. 6 probe kills, that is my prediction. Factory going down on the side of the Terran player. Command center being morphed into an orbital now. Here's that Reaper, got 1 kill so far. Target fire could be better. We see a few probes here with a little bit weakened shields, but Timbo not target firing those guys. Only 2 probe kills so far, so maybe my prediction was a bit off, but there's still time. Let's see, does he click on that weak one? Alright, good job there at least. Can he get it? The Zealot doing its best to chase, and the Adept is out, so Reaper gonna have to get out of dodge there. And he does escape with his life. 3 kills under his belt. Could still jump back in a little later and make my prediction come true, but 3 kills, not too shabby. And amidst all that, both players kind of slacking on the macro. Yellow Jello a bit worse in that department. 600 minerals as we see Twilight Council being thrown down. Here comes the Reaper once again. Let's see if he gets some more kills. There's that Zealot and Adept. They were in the main base, so they did have to run back down. Another probe did lose its life. Kill count goes up to 4, and he's not done yet. Going back into the main base. Once again, all the army units out of position. Reaper kind of wasting his time on the gas probes. Does get 1. Does get away. 5 kills now. 1 more to make my prediction come true. Back at home, Timbo getting a siege tank out of that factory. That's gonna make him pretty safe. Have a starport in the main base not being utilized, so that kind of begs the question, why though? These army units kind of just chilling right next to each other. Timbo! Oh, not watching, and the Reaper does go down. 5 kills is where it's going to be. So, not quite, but I was close. And back at home, Timbo committing to the double engineering bay, except he's only using one. And also he has 0 infantry units yet. So, again, why though? But he is throwing down some more barracks. Does he have stim or anything like that? No stim, no combat shields. So yeah, why going double engineering bay? Okay, he's just pumping out tanks and Liberator. No bio units just yet. Over on the side of the Protoss player, he's getting Blink for those Stalker boys. Just going for a gateway-centric army. We do not see a Robo. We do not see a Stargate. Only 2 probes on these gases. I wonder if that's intentional. You do see that sometimes from players when they don't want too much gas, because 2 workers on the gas is a little bit more efficient than 3. But over here he does have 3, so maybe it's a mistake in the main. Back on the Terran side of things, still no infantry units. What is this? This is so weird. He's got so much production, but he's not doing a darn thing. Triple scan going down, so Timbo sees pretty much everything. I don't know if he spotted this tech over here, but he did see the army composition. So hopefully he can piece that together. Yeah, he saw the gateways, didn't see the Twilight, but should be able to safely assume that. Finally, some bio units being produced. We do see 3 Liberators. Not sure why he was banking those up, but they are on the move now. Yellow Jello going for double forge as well, but only getting 1 upgrade. What? Both of these guys getting their double upgrade buildings, but only utilizing 1 of them. It's kind of funny that they're both doing the same thing. Timbo, he is getting a 3rd base. No real plans to do so yet for Yellow Jello, it looks like. Not sure what these Liberators are doing. Why are these 2 coming back this way? Very odd that you're not going for some kind of harass or something. Templar Archives on the way for the Protoss, already established, should I say. And the Robo facility as well. Charge almost completed. So those Zealots gonna be real speedy boys. Now finally, Liberators look like they want to come in for some harassment. 2 in the natural and 1 in the main, but the 2 in the natural looks like they're gonna go down pretty quickly. They do get 1 Stalker, I think that's about it. 1 in the main, they get a little more success, 5 kills. And she is gonna be able to get out of there. Not too bad, both players floating a ton of money. Not really either's strong suit, and especially not in this Clown Fiesta matchup. Interesting, cheeky little cancel there on the 3rd base. Not sure if that was like a fake out or what, but Timbo sees that's making. Maybe Yellow Jello just intends to go all in now. I'm not sure. But then he restarts the Nexus, so again, bit of a head scratcher there. Even if you don't play Protoss, it's kind of a weird thing to be doing. We have some High Templars being warped in the main base. Why were they being warped in the main base? I couldn't tell you. Two of them, however, gonna make their way to join up with the army and morph into an Archon. One remaining in the main base. Why, though? I really don't know. We do have an observer here spotting the base of Timbo Slice. Double engineering bay being utilized now. Double forge being utilized as well. So good on these guys to actually be going for double upgrades with their structures. Looks like it's just going to be bio and specifically Marines for Timbo. No Marauders, which I think is a mistake. Marauders very good against most Protoss units because they are armored. Stalkers are armored. Immortals are armored, but that's kind of a weird interaction because they both do bonus to each other. Are Archons armored? I'm not entirely sure, but in general, Marauders pretty good against Protoss. Fourth base being morphed into a planetary here from Timbo Slice. Not sure what that movement was from Yellow Gel. Looks like he was maybe looking for that Liberator, which is going to get picked off now, but 3 more probe kills, not too bad. Observer roaming around. Going to be spotting some of these Widow Mines. That's going to make moving out onto the map just a bit more difficult for Yellow Jello, but he is going to spot that one at least, take it out before it can even burrow. Timbo Slice with 20 odd supply lead right now. Those 2 Widow Mines do get shots off, but do get picked off. And once again, both players floating a lot of money. Worker counts could be better as well. And, yeah, it looks like Timbo Slice gonna be moving out with his primarily Marine Army, 5 tanks to anchor his position as well. So it's gonna be very difficult for Yellow Gel to engage if these tanks are sieged up. But if he can catch them unsieged, there's a chance. But the map awareness, not really that good for either player. Timbo kind of just wandering in blind, very dangerous here. But he does siege up those tanks. And now Yellow Jello moving, gonna take a few tank shots. And Timbo loading up a single medevac, probably a misclick there. Yellow Jello going for the fight, I don't know. A lot of tank fire, but Timbo loading up 16 Marines in medevacs. That is a lot of wasted supply. So Yellow Jello does take a favorable engagement there. 2 tanks in the back were not sieged up. They do siege up now. More Marines over here not joining the fight. Storm going down with the sieged tanks, just doing too much damage. No reinforcements from the Protoss player during all that time. Where were the Warpins? He's got there's a 6 Zealots and an Immortal. That is all he has to his name. So much money, but is he just not able to warp stuff in? Or all his gateways on cooldown? Here comes Timbo once again. Tanks caught out of position, and the Zealots able to clean those up. So now Timbo, with no tanks, he cannot possibly keep this attack going. We've got more Marines streaming in, but no tanks. Well, he does have a few over here that are not joining the fight. Yellow Jello needs to warp stuff in. Hello. 5,000 minerals in the bank, but not warping anything in. These High Templars, do they have enough energy for storms? It looks like yes, they each have about 1. One Storm doesn't get the best hits over there, but he still has a few more in the chamber. And is he going to land the money storms? Marines continuing to stream across the map. Keep in mind, Timbo is on 4 bases. A lot of mules, a lot of minerals. Well, I mean, Yellow Gel is also on 4 bases. But he is not spending his money. He's not using his warpins. And his tech, not that great. The only high-tech unit here are the High Templars. And Timbo just going pure Marines now. I don't know why he gave up on the tanks. But Marines gonna be pretty squishy against these storms. Loading up a medevac once again. Dropping some mules to repair the medevacs, I assume. And does Yellow Jello spot this? No, just barely out of vision, as we can see here. So this attack gonna catch him a bit unaware, a bit out of position, and now he responds. That Nexus is gonna go down. And could almost go for a surround here. And oh, what was that liftoff? A little bit awkward there. Storm's going down. Can you see a blink to pick those off? No. Yellow Jello does not pursue. That was a big missed opportunity. If he just blunk in, snipe those full medevacs, that would have been disastrous for the Terran player, who is maxed out, by the way. He's just building up his bank. We've got some Widow Mines in the mix. What is this move command from Yellow Jello? It might work out for him. These medevacs still full. Storm going down, mostly on his own units, actually. That's a bit awkward. These medevacs still full, and once again, escaping by the skin of his teeth. There are so many medevacs here. I think Timbo needs to slow down on that production. Maybe just go for... what? A few medevacs flying to their deaths there, but as I was saying, you don't really need more medevacs. Just go all bio, throw some more tanks in there, but Yellow Jello surviving that onslaught right there. And now he is teching up. Does have that robotics bay researching thermal lance. No Colossus in production just yet. I wouldn't mind seeing perhaps a second robotics facility. Get some double Colossus production. That would be pretty good against this mostly Marine army we see here from Timbo Slice. Upgrade department. We've got 3-3-1 for Yellow Jello. That is pretty good. Only 2-2 for the bio here from Timbo Slice. He is working on that 3-3. Looks like another wayward unit over there. Supply count surprisingly close right now, and once again the upgrades favoring the Protoss player for now. And all siege tanks out of position. They were not siege. This is about the best fight Yellow Jello could have taken. Is it gonna work out for them? And all storms are pretty good, but Marines, the man with the gun, they hold strong. The stims, the medevac support in the air, that is enough to ward off the attack from the Protoss player. And a bit of a questionable attack there. It was just bio and storms. You were researching the thermal lance upgrade, but no Colossus still. Just questionable decision making there from the Protoss player, which is kind of what we expect from Yellow Jello, isn't it? But Timbo Slice kind of getting away with murder there. He was out of position, he was down on the upgrades, but I don't know, what can I say? The man with gun, pretty good. Timbo going up to 5 bases now, transferring some workers over. Yellow Jello also doing the same thing. So these guys pretty even on that regards. We've got some command centers going down in the middle of the map, most likely for planetary fortresses, and he can afford it. Both players very rich. I would like to see Yellow Jello throw down like 10 cannons at each base, just to get some extra security there. And And Timbo, look at this man. He is going wild with the command centers over here, queuing them up. I would prefer to see multiple SCVs working on this, and maybe prioritize the base one first. Either way, we're going to have a lot of command centers in a few minutes. Yellow Jello sitting only at 168 supplies. Still a lot of money in the bank. Going for a mostly Zealot army. A few Immortals in the mix. We do finally have some Colossus as well. Oh, Stalkers in the mix as well. Where's this guy going? Oh, no! And here we have an attack from Timbo Slice. He is setting up. Needs a siege up. Siege up! A bit late on the siege, so Yellow Jello does get on top of those tanks. Big storms going down. Is it going to be enough? Oh, full medevac. Another misclick there from Timbo Slice. That is an overwhelming victory from the Protoss player. Timbo Slice losing about 100 supply in that fight. No remax to be seen. I don't know how you can witness that fight with all your production back at home and just go, yeah, this is fine. This is most certainly not fine for the Terran player. You gotta remake your stuff. Once again, loading up his medevacs. Is that intentional this time? It looks like maybe he's thinking of a drop. Not sure what he's doing with those. But these planetary fortresses going to be very difficult for the Protoss player to push into. I say that, but they are not planetary fortresses just yet. Got one over here, and that's it for now. Timbo does certainly have plenty of money. Widowmine just gonna walk into the mineral line and get taken out by cannons. That was very sad. Still, the production just non-existent from Timbo Slice. Only at 140 supply. What are all these barracks doing? And Timbo doing his absolute best right now to throw the game. He was maxed out against Yellow Jello's 160 something supply earlier. And now it is Yellow Jello with the supply lead. Can he turn that into a victory here? Or full medevacs, going for a bit of a drop. Does this observer see that? Yes. Was Yellow Jello paying attention? Looks like he is moving his army to perhaps intercept, and this could be disastrous for Timbo Slice if Yellow Jello capitalizes. Can we see a blink to take out the medevacs? Two of them do go down, but no blink. Does Yellow Jello realize he has that upgrade? Looks like this drop gonna be shut down, and that is a lot of supply being wasted. 4 full medevacs, 0 damage done, and another L there for Timbo Slice. Yellow Jello working on his, 6th base right now. Timbo also on almost 6, actually. He was just slowly making these command centers with a singular SCV. But where is the army for Timbo? He is just rallying everything over here, not sieging up his tanks, and still just going pure Marines. In fact, very few Marines in the mix here. I don't think this unit composition is quite gonna cut it in the long run. We have 7 Colossus. That is just gonna rain fire upon these poor Marines. Also, the storms, these maxed out High Templars. And Timbo not looking so hot all of a sudden. This is absolutely crazy. Yellow Jello maxed out, going for an attack now. Timbo Slice looks like he wants to greet him. Does siege up all his tanks a little bit late. Is that going to be enough? Tanks pretty good. And looks like, yes, they should be able to clean this up. Yellow Jello just standing in that tank fire, losing 130 supply. Oh my god, that is brutal. And how do you witness that fight and go, yeah, that's fine. Nothing in the production tab right now, just a pylon. And what are you doing? You just lost 130 supply and you're not making anything back at home. Once again, the tides of the game have shifted. Timbo Slice now doubling the supply of his Protoss opponent. But neither player really with that killer instinct to just go, go, go. Timbo, we see his army almost 80 supply greater than his opponents, and he is just chilling here back at home. Allowing Yellow Jello to slowly remake his army. And again, Yellow Jello, I really wish he would put down some cannons on his outer bases. Protect these bases, protect these probes. But no real urgency here from Timbo Slice. He drops down that scan and he goes, okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna do my own thing. Both players kind of playing single player right now. Just defending. Got some more Colossus being remade. Still 6,000 minerals here from Yellow Jello and not much production to be made there. This observer spotting this army movement here from Timbo, and is that going to trigger some alarm bells? Do you want to maybe warp some stuff in? Hello? But here comes Timbo. He has his sights on this 5th base? I think that's 5. But here he goes, not even sieging the tanks right now. He does siege them up, and Yellow Jello not going to be able to engage into this. Don't even try it, please. Just give this base up. It is already lost. Don't go for it. No, no, no. Oh my god, Yellow Jello. Oh my god. No, there's no reason to go in right now. You lost the base already. You do not need to fight, but Yellow Jello determined to lose this game. Throws away, what was that, 4 Colossus, I think? And Timbo Slice looks like he might be able to close it out here if he presses forward, and I think that is what he shall be doing. In he goes. Tanks a little bit far back. Does kind of want to bait the Protoss army into that tank fire. Pretty good control there with the Vikings sniping that one Colossus, avoiding these stalkers. Timbo doing the right thing, leapfrogging a few siege tanks up, slowly just choking out his Protoss opponent, who is warping in some more stalkers. I don't think that's the right call. I think Zealots probably what you would prefer here. Storm, not that great. What was that movement? Oh my goodness. Just sacrificing his very important Colossus there. And again, I don't think Stalkers are the right call. Just have like 10 Zealots coming from the back, charging in. That might have given him a chance, but GG gets called. Timbo Slice gonna win game number 1. All right, welcome back, folks. This is a game number 2 in this Clown Fiesta series between the blue Protoss, yellow Jello, and our red Terran Timbo Slice. A bit of, how should I put this? Bit of an embarrassing disaster of a game from both players in game number 1. Our Terran player Timbo Slice was able to clutch that victory in the end, but very abysmal play by both players, to be expected because neither of them are really familiar with the race they are currently playing. We saw Timbo constantly picking up his Marines into the medevac. We saw a lot of not sieged tanks. And from Yellow Jello, we saw that signature poor army control, poor decision making. But there were times in the game when both players certainly had a chance. We'll see how either of them do clean up this time around. If they do, Yellow Jello once again floating a lot of money very early on in the game. Why not just throw down that Nexus? I don't really know what's going on here. 600 minerals? A minute and 45 seconds into the game? I don't understand. Reaper opening once again from Timbo Slice. I'm going to be following that up with a command center, it looks like. And we do have that Nexus being thrown down here, so that's good, at least. 2 Reapers, actually. Oh, it was a double barracks Reaper opening. Okay, that is quite spicy from Timbo Slice. Nothing being made out of this gateway just yet from Yellow Jelly. Does start up that Adept, but it is going to be a little bit late. Wouldn't mind seeing a Chrono Boost on that because the Reaper is not going to be jumping in just yet. Waiting for his brother in arms there, and they are both going to jump in together. That does give the Adept a little bit more time, but here come the Reapers. Let's see how many kills they can get. I'm predicting 7 between the 2 of them. The Adept is out. And what weapon? Oh my god, the Adept might go down actually. That is a disaster for Yellow Jello if it does go down. Decent micro here from Timbo Slice, saving that Reaper, taking out that Adept. And both Reapers staying alive. Stalker in production now. Chrono Boost still available, but oh, one Reaper just barely surviving. No, he does go down. Oh, couldn't quite target fire that weak probe, but he does get it. 5 kills in that Reaper. I'm not sure how much the other one got, but Stalker should be able to shut this down. Units lost tab. 5 probes, 1 Adept. So, once again, a little bit off. But the Reaper still could get some more kills later on. More barracks being queued up here. I don't like this. This is going to take forever to get these down. Just bite the bullet. Use a few more SCVs to put those down. Eklab finishing up on that frontal barracks. Let's see what he decides to research first. 2 Stalkers going to be making their way across the map. That means only 1 going to be over here back at home on the defense. 2 Stalkers going to start blasting away at that tech lab, and that's very annoying because Marines can't really chase down Stalkers. Stalkers do have that movement speed advantage. They do have the range advantage, but the micro is non-existent. 1 Stalker getting very, very low. And looks like 2 Stalkers might just end the game here? No, probably not. There's a tank in production, more Marines in production, but this is doing way more damage than it had any right to do. 3rd Stalker joining the mix. I think that Reaper suicided there. Supply Depot goes down. The Micro! Decent there to save that Stalker. Another Supply Depot gonna go down. I wouldn't mind seeing these Stalkers push in a little more. They are favored against the Marines. The pullback is nice on the weak Stalkers. No siege on the tanks, but doesn't matter. Looks like Timbo is finally gonna be able to defend, and the tank does finally siege up. Yellow Jello, oh, does find a little angle here. That's cute. Yellow Jello focusing so much on this attack that he is floating a lot of minerals back at home. It looked pretty good for him, but neglecting his macro could end up costing him in the long run. 4 Stalkers just hanging out over here, not sure why. And like I said, not spending that Nexus energy, not continuing that probe production, not building more gateways, not advancing his tech. So while it looked good, things are actually relatively even. Might favor Timbo Slice even, because of course mules are pretty strong, and he does have more advanced tech with the factory, the siege tank. Combat shield being researched right now. And going down, so Timbo is going to be aware of the unit composition of his opponent. He sees Stalkers, but that many Stalkers probably don't have much else. To have a forge going down, more gateways, and still no further tech. Slow warp in there is a choice. No Robo, no Templar Archives, no Stargate, so just a pure Stalkers right now. Another Reaper in production? 7-minute Reaper. Yeah, that's totally standard. Double Engineering Bay, both being utilized this time around. Single Forge on the side of the Protoss. Scan going down just to verify that there is no 3rd. Don't know if that was really necessary. Scans are a bit costly because they mean you're not using that energy for a mule. Each mule is equivalent to, I think, like 300 minerals or something. And you could have just waited for this Reaper to do some scouting. That Nexus does get dropped now from Yellow Jello. Reaper going to poke in, I guess, to do some scouting. We do have Marauders in the mix this time around, which I do like a lot more. Reaper gonna be scouting around, spots that Nexus. And oh, here comes Yellow Jello. Reaper going to give its life to spot that information. So Timbo is going to be well aware that an attack is potentially coming. 4 siege tanks should be more than enough to defend. But Yellow Jello not attacking after all. I'm not sure why his units are over here. 3rd base getting established here from Yellow Jello. Probes long distance mining. I am not sure why. He could finish saturating this base. Finish saturating this base as well. I really don't understand the decision there. We have Blink being researched. That's not it. Blink being researched. Robo facility is up. I don't think we have any Robo units just yet, but here comes Yellow Jello finally with that attack we were talking about earlier, and it's a bit late. Maybe this timing can catch his opponent unaware. No, maybe not. Tanks are going to siege up, and there's no way Yellow Jello can or should attack into this. Timbo once again loading his units up into a medevac, and maybe. Oh, it looks like Yellow Jello thinking about a little blinky move in there, but he does not have vision of the high ground. That's a little bit awkward. This tank going to siege up and start shelling away at those units. They do take a lot of free damage over there. Bio is going to pursue, so Yellow Jello gotta run away. It looks like Timbo not really going to chase, so that is that. Observer showing up a bit late, so the blink tactic not gonna work. Very supply blocked is the Terran player. 134 out of 134. Supply depot is only halfway done right now, so it's gonna be a bit. Yellow Jello trailing by about 50 supply. A lot of money in the bank once again. Timbo actually doing a pretty good job spending his money, at least for now. Never thought I would say those words. We have a double robotics facility, but the only robo units I saw was, I think, that one observer. Is that correct? One singular observer from 2 robo facilities. That's right, folks. Armor and charge being researched, and I cannot state this enough. There's so much money in the bank for the Protoss player. He does start up a lot of immortals. Look at this queue. He just queues up 5 immortals. Does he realize he has 2 robotics facilities? Oh my god, what's happening? And here comes that blink move. Nicely done from Yellow Jello, and Timbo Slice not gonna fly home. He is just gonna press the attack, I think. And I like that. Oftentimes when we watch his Zerg gameplay, he runs all the way back home, wastes all that time to run back. So we are seeing a bit of a base trade here. Let's see how that's going to fare for both players. Keep in mind, Protoss has that mass recall ability. And what is he doing? He's just walking into the tank fire. Oh my god! Taking so much free damage there. What? And I think Yellow Jello just threw the game. He could have gone for the base trade, which is, to be honest, not favorable in PvT, but he took so much damage from those tanks. He could have at least taken out those 2 tanks. The bio with the tank anchor is just going to be too strong. It's so difficult to engage into this. Yellow Jello just eating tank shots after tank shots for siege tanks, and he just waddles into his death. GG gets called. Timbo Slice just wins the game. Alrighty, welcome back, folks. This is game number 3 in this Clown Fiesta series, and a little bit less Clown Fiesta this time around. It's going to be a ZVP, our blue Zerg player. Playing his main race, it is Yellow Jello. Up against the red Protoss, who is playing his secondary race. It is Timbo Slice. So, in a traditional ZVP between these two players, I would probably favor Yellow Jello just a bit. However, he is playing at 70% HP, and I find that a little bit odd because Timbo's Protoss is actually not too shabby, maybe just a little bit worse than Yellow Jello's Zerg. So 70% sounds a little extreme to me. Let's see how it plays out. We do have a spawning pool first opening from Yellow Jello. That is certainly a choice there. And I mean, pool first is usually kind of a safety build against cheese and stuff, but Timbo not really one to get too cheesy. He does go for the double pylon block, which is super annoying. And yeah, I mean, you probably could have avoided this if you went fetch first, but now Yellow Jello is just going to be struggling to get up these bases. However, it is a bit of an investment here from Timbo Slice. Throwing down 3 pylons. He does let the first 2 finish up. Is he going to let the third one? No, does cancel that. So 2 pylons. It is a bit of wasted minerals, but to delay the base by that much, I do think it's generally worth it. We do have 6 lings on the field already, so Timbo gonna have to be conscious of that. And I mean, he sees it, so I don't know why there isn't more urgency to maybe get some units. Because if Yellow Jello ignored both pylons and just ran across the map, the lings would be here already. There would be no zealot. There would be no units. It would be almost GG, but he does not go for that. Instead, going to be working on the rocks, and perhaps a bit of a missed opportunity there. A double expansion here from the Zerg player. The spawning pool placement, a little bit awkward. That's going to slow down his gas mining just a little bit. Perhaps not terribly significant, but it does make a difference. Nexus going to be finishing up here from Timbo Slice sooner than either expansion of Yellow Jello. And Timbo with the worker lead as well, 22 to 20. I do expect that will start swinging into the Zerg favor shortly. Bit of a wasted gas hatch there, as we see that drone. And I'm not sure about this rally. It is a bit of a waste. This space is done, so maybe just send those there. Kind of losing a bit of mining time. But that is kind of Yellow Jello's MO. Like, why is a drone going from the main to the third? Why is a drone going from the third to the second? This is just wacky. Keep in mind, this is his main race, so you can't really give too many excuses right now. Timbo Slice going for the robotics facility, getting an observer right off the bat. That is his usual opening for Protoss. We do see Warp Gate is finished. We have a wall being plugged up. Overlord Scout by Yellow Jello does fly in. Bot pretty much everything the main base has to offer. Lots of Twilight Council, lots of Robo. Very delayed layer here from Yellow Jello. Only just now starting, 5 minutes into the game. Observer gonna be poking in here to see what it can see. Worker count, as I said, is favoring the Zerg player now, 44 to 37. should actually be a little bit more. Yellow Jello with quite some money in the bank. Baneling Nest in production now as well. 7 Overlords on the way. 4 of them just popped. But a lot. Maybe you didn't need all of them right away. A little bit strange. But workers not really being made anymore for Yellow Jello. I wonder if that is deliberate. He is getting a few roaches. He's getting his 1-1 upgrades, both attack upgrades. That is generally the correct call in ZVP. And over here on the side of the Protoss, he is starting to get Immortals. First one taking to the field now. +1 attack finishing up. And that's about it so far. No real advancement in tech. Double Robo going now for double Immortals. That's going to be fan-diddly-tastic against Immortals. But not that great against all these Lings. So, unit composition here from Yellow Jello. Decent, I would say. He looks like he is moving out a bit, and I question this decision. Maybe he wants to pressure this third that he scouts with this. The Yellow Timbo, rather, is a bit out of position here, so might be able to get the cancel. Yes, he does indeed, but he should probably get out of there. He does. So, a rare, good attack, good army movement there from Yellow Jello. Gets the cancel, backs out, doesn't waste too many units. It's a pretty good move there from Yellow Jello. I would say you probably don't want to commit to anything until those 1-1 upgrades are done, which they will be in about 10 seconds. This Observer, full vision over here, and oh, a little bit of a bait and switch there. The roaches over here, and the Lings getting the cancel once again. Another good move by Yellow Jello. Keep in mind, he's at 70% HP, so his units die a whole lot faster. Accidentally put up that APM temp just a minute ago, but a bit faster for the Zerg player. Kind of even now, but it was about 300 for a second there. APM not the most important metric, but kind of interesting once in a while. Centrifugal hooks finishing up for those Banelings. Timbo desperately trying to get this third base up. I would like to see maybe more of a wall here, maybe throw some gateways down, just so the Lings can't run by as easily. A couple Archons in the mix, that is going to be fantastic against the Zerglings. And just more Immortals being produced, 2 at a time. Immortals are so good against roaches. But I think we do need more splash damage, and that is on the way in the form of storms. It's going to be a little bit far away. Can Timbo reach that is the question. It looks like Yellow Jello thinking of another attack here. This Observer does spot this. Now, does Timbo... is he paying attention to his minimap? Yes, he does spot it. Good job there. And ooh, good little dodge over there by the Observer. And he's going to spot this entire army movement. So Timbo with full information right now. He is trailing in army just a bit, so gotta be careful. These Templars don't have Storm just yet, but once they do, it's going to be very scary for the Zerg player. It's going to be a Ling Bane Roach Ravager for now. Burrow on the way, getting a little bit cheeky here. Hydralisk Den in production, 2-2 upgrades. So Yellow Jello kind of just powering up right now, piling his own unit there. Missing the Observer entirely. But, oh, Queen's gonna be able to do the job. Observer didn't even try to fight it, just accepted its death. And Timbo finally gets his third base up, but needs to saturate it. 42 probes to 60 drones. Not the best from either player. Another Ling run by over here. The cannons are gonna help a little bit, but few probes do go down, I think. Actually, I don't know. Those two did get low, but they didn't actually go down. And here comes the attack from Yellow Jello. Bile taking out his own Overseer. Where are the storms? The Biles, they do hit a few of the Zealots. Not that great there, but where are the storms? Hello? Oh, that is a big, juicy one. Center mass. Some Zealots in the back here not participating. The Biles, oh! Hitting a few of the Templars there, not taking any of them out. The storm's still pretty good. The army movement from Yellow Jello, oh no, losing all of his roaches over there. A queen was in the mix as well. I do not know why. And that was a combination of that 70% HP as well as the poor army control of Yellow Jello. He was just walking in. His Biles, I think, did more harm than good. And yep, and Timbo Slice now with the supply lead, 155 to 140. 114 army to only 73 for the Zerg player, who is now building up Hydras, trying to tech into Lurkers, but is it too late? The army going to be favoring the Protoss so heavily. If he decides to go for an attack, I do not see how the Zerg could possibly defend, especially not at 70%, especially not with these garbage units and no meat shields in front of them. 26 slings, as I say that, in production. But is it going to be enough? I don't think so. However, Timbo not really pressing the issue, just chilling over here on the edge of creep, getting that fourth base now. And Yellow Jello, a lot of Hydras. Again, I don't think this is really the unit you want. This is definitely not the path you want. Half of your army going up there, half down here. So this half is going to get obliterated here. This base might go down. No, it looks like Yellow Jello going to abandon the attack. I think that is the correct call. But yeah, wasting so many units over there. And if he can get up to Lurkers, maybe, but Timbo giving chase his Zealots with charge, and oh, that is not the place you want to morph in your Lurkers. And Timbo just pressing forward, not going to allow his opponent any time to morph in those Lurkers. Baneling's going to roll in. Can they connect with the Zealots? They do get a pretty decent connection. And is it going to be enough? I don't know. The storm's going down. Blanketing the Hydras, peppering them up, but Timbo going to abandon the attack, and that's going to give Yellow Jello some breathing room to morph in those Lurkers. I think that is an incorrect call from Timbo Slice. He saw the Lurker attempt back there, and he should have just pressed the issue, because once these 7 Lurkers finish, no, I was right, 6 Lurkers finish, it is going to be so difficult to ever attack. Timbo Slice now refocusing onto this attack, but Lurkers are on the field. You gotta burrow them! Oh my god! He does burrow them in time. That got very dicey for a second there. And oh, why are you dancing with the devil here? Storm goes down. It does weaken up a few of those Lurkers. And once again, Yellow Jello, I'm not sure why he keeps unburrowing his Lurkers, making things very difficult for himself. Storms going down on the Lurkers. They do all go down. They get some okay shots, but it is not enough. GG gets called, and Timbo Slice gonna win